All right, boys and girls, welcome back. This is day 2 of the 14th annual New England Pool and Billiards Hall of Fame 9-ball event. I am Mike DeMarco from Ship to Cash, and we're broadcasting live from Snookers in Providence, Rhode Island. And we're down to the final 8 players. These two gentlemen here are on the winner's side. The other two winner's side players are on our neighboring table there. This matchup here is Bob Madenjian and Jason Robichaud. And the other two undefeated players, it's Frankie Hernandez and Lucas Fracasso Werner. So the cream rising to the top. And we're going to conclude this event today. I thank you for joining me. If you haven't hit the share button, please do that. Yesterday we saw our field wind down to these final 8 players. I want to give a particular shout out to one player in particular who is really impressing me the last few showings, and that is Mr. Jason Cornelio. Still in the event top 8 right now. Really nice job, Jason. Keep up the good work. Coming out of Connecticut. And speaking of Connecticut, Bob Madenjian, Connecticut native. And boy, can this man play. We call him Dr. Bob. And he is one of those experienced players. Has played pretty much everyone you could think of over the years. And he is the definition of a grinder. And despite his age, I've seen him in action and play till the wee hours of the morning and not care one bit about it. He loves the game, and he knows how to play it well. Ryan Cullen commenting on Jason Cornelio as well. Yeah, he does put in a lot of work. And it is paying off. I'm really happy to see him, seeing the fruits of his labor. So good luck to him. Right now, I got to make a comment about Mr. Madenjian here. I want to say that 100% of the time, I would consider Bob on the slower realm of play. And right now, it seems like Bob has kind of got a pep in his step, and he's kind of moving way faster than the normal Dr. Bob Madenjian. And I got to say, I think he looks good. I think he looks really good. Perhaps he got a good night's rest, and I mean, he's just firing these balls in. I mean, he's playing awesome right now. A little bit of a tester here. Should have no problem pocketing it. But when you're in the early stages of the tournament day, regardless of how yesterday went or last week went, early tournament stages can show a bit of craziness, like that miss right there. Bob, you can curse me when you watch this back. Andy Downs in the chat. What's up, Andy? He says, Jay beat me a couple months ago, and I was surprised how well he played. Jason Cornelio, he's the star of the show, in my opinion. You know, like a year ago, I wouldn't have thought, you know, he'd come close. And you can just see how much he's worked on his game, and it's just showing. So really just want to make sure that we give recognition to players that are putting in the work and not excuses. I'm glad to see he made it out there. He's in the top 8 right now. Great job. Bob Madenjian with another swing at this 9-ball. Little back and forth on this 9. I think Bob will take this one 2 rails up to the top of the table, just like that. And Bob's going to go 2-0 up. And I just want to mention, for you folks that have been watching this weekend, we do have a couple of prizes for those of you that are able to donate. You're going to get your choice. First drawing is going to be the winner's choice of the autographed Aramith Pro Cup Measle ball. It's not a junk cue, it's a real ball. And got a bunch of different pro players that you can choose from. You get your choice of autograph. And also, we've got 2 gift cards to the Gambler's Closet. And also some artwork from Mr. Kevin Baccio. And I really do appreciate the support from you folks. Remember, I want pool to always be free to watch. And little help here and there makes that possible. All right, Jason Robichaud. Not really getting a ton of these great looks so far in the match. And a lot of times, if you've played in events, you'll know that, sometimes the match just tells you it's not going to be simple. And you're going to have to make a drastic change in the momentum of the match and the way that the balls are rolling for it to work out. I'm sure that if you've played in any events, you know that sometimes the balls just don't want to roll for you. You're always on a weird shot, or, you're stuck on the rail, or the guy's missing and he's leaving you hooked and just not working, or the guy misses the shot, you think you're going to get an open one, and the 8-ball drops in the corner just like that. I mean, sometimes that's just how it is, and it's no fault to Bob here, but it seems like Jason's got a little bit of a rough time with the beginning of this matchup here, his first match of the day. Really just have to make some adjustments, especially mentally. But you just have to know that that's how the game is played. And sometimes it's going to be a little rough. Frankie Hernandez and Lucas Ricasso Werner next door. And it looks like they are at 1 game apiece over there. And again, I got to make a comment about Bob's pace here. Seems like he's a bit faster than normal. And if that's the case, I feel like that means he's super confident, really comfortable. And that means he's going to be really tough to beat, especially if the balls are rolling in his favor. Jason has the decision here. Is he going to try to thin this 2-ball, or is he going to kick underneath it? I think the kick would be better. He might have a 9-ball on the side in his future, but he says, nope, I'm going to give Bob the opportunity to shoot this 9-ball combination. Didn't really agree with that decision there. But when you're at the table, you have to go with your gut. See the comment section correcting my pronunciation of Jason's last name. They say it's Robichaud. You got it. Thank you for that. All right, here's Bob for the 9-ball combination. What's he going to get here? Not much there, and he does leave Jason the opportunity to pocket that 2-ball. He's going to have to hit this one very clean. Remember, this table is not a bucket table. The pockets are a bit tighter than the remaining tables in our main tournament room here. There's 2 tight tables here at Snookers. One is this feature table here. The other is more of an action table. That's table number 15. That's my favorite table. Really want to know that you were able to best someone on the most difficult equipment. Probably going to be playing some defense here. And Bob is a very well-versed one-pocket player. A lot of the safety play and moving aspect of 9-ball will be something he's very comfortable with. Yeah, it seems as though Jason is really just not really into the game just yet. And the clock is ticking. When you've got a player like Bob Madenjian on the other side of the table, not going to get a ton of opportunities to figure it out or hit stroke or, get comfortable. So Jason's really going to have to make some adjustments here, especially mentally, as I mentioned earlier, if he wants to compete in this winner's side matchup. Remember, both of these players have 0 losses. They're both undefeated. So there's always a chance that one of these players makes it back through, get another swing at the other. But you always want to have more than one bullet if possible. The winner of this match will play the winner of the other match right next door. Again, that's Frankie Hernandez and Lucas Fracasso-Werner. And I will be posting the brackets for you folks. As soon as this match concludes, I can get that out there for you. I will be posting on my personal page, so if you don't want to go send me a friend request, that would be fine. And again, that's just Mike DeMarco on Facebook. If you look at the pinned comment regarding the donations and the prizes and whatnot, not only will you see the information on how to donate, you'll also see my profile right there. You can just click on that, shoot me a friend request, or hit the follow button, and you'll get those updates. You can follow all the other stuff that I'm involved in, mostly pool-related things. Jake Raquel, my man, how we doing, sir? He says, can I get winner? Sure, you got it. But you want one hole, I know you do. You don't want to play these boys 9-ball. Play some one pocket, will you? Some hair on your chest. Little tricky shot here. It's really about managing the cue ball. I think he'll make the shot, but cue ball could get funny towards that 7 and the 9. And see, he covered up the 7 here, and that's something I was thinking could be a possibility. It would have been better if he tried to avoid that, but you have to guarantee the shot goes in. I mean, in this situation here, Bob's got to make a decision. Is he able to maybe get to that top rail and pocket the 7, or is that just not available? Gonna have to hit it a lot harder than that, Bob. You need some heat. Yeah, he needed to get like flat on that top short rail, and he did come up short, so this is going to be tricky. You can see that 7-ball is very, very close to that cushion. See how Bob attacks this. Just going to roll onto it. That's okay. Bob's trying to make this freeze so that he's got to get to an additional rail. There's a possibility that he could manipulate the cue ball here and possibly shoot that 9-ball into the corner. See, they're trying to decide if it's frozen or not. Jason going to shoot. A little ticky-tacky here. Light touch. Okay, I think that worked out okay. Now, these situations really let you know where a player is at, both mentally and comfort-wise in the style of the shooting. But Bob's going to try to get him behind the 9, I think. And he does that well. Jason going to be able to do a 1 or 2 rail kick. But this is the one where the result is unknown. And that's going to be ball in hand for Mr. Madenjian. And that is 99% death. Give a guy like Bob Madenjian ball in hand with 2 open shots. Not really going to get another opportunity there. Bob to go up 3-0 here, and he makes it. Nice finish there. Jake says coffee. I don't know if that's a offer or a request, but if it is an offer, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Brian McCrum, how you doing? Tiffany Vong, what's up? Not sure if you boys and girls are coming down to hang, but I will be here for the duration of the event. Come down and hang out. Saw a really crazy match on this table last night. The last match that I witnessed on this table last night, I believe it was the last match broadcast on the live stream last night, and it was Francisco 5K Cabral, and I believe it was him versus Keith Trafton, and 5K's up in the match. I want to say it was like 5-2 or 5-3. Zuglin came over and discussed something about racking the balls. I think that, maybe Keith wanted to rack his own or something to that effect. And, right from there, 5K leading, going to 7. He only needed 2. Keith still needed 4 or 5. Right after that interaction, there were 3 really short games where they didn't even get past the 2 ball. It was like break and make the 9, break 1-9 by accident, and then another like 2-9 combination or something, like 3 games in 2 seconds, and they all went in favor of Keith Trafton, and it was definitely a heartbreaker for 5K. So, this game can absolutely be brutal. Everything's going your way, it's feeling great, you're in the lead, and then you trip over something, and oh boy. Saw another heartbreaker for Ray Mack yesterday. He played Lucas Fracasso Werner on this table here, on the feature table, and just barely lost the match 9-8. And, he had everything he needed. He's on the hill. He had the break, and he had to shoot a pretty firm stroke shot on the 2 ball. And he ended up missing the 2 ball. Lucas got out, and that was that. Ben Savoy, sorry about that. I didn't realize. Yeah, there's only 8 hours in this version of the live stream, and I wasn't even aware that had gone off. So apologies on that. Hope you're doing well, Ben. It's been a little bit. Come visit. Maybe I'll come up that way. I got to get some free time. For all of you pool players out there, those of you that want to get on the table and not just watch from the side. Next Saturday, right here at Snookers, is the first qualifier for the Snookers Amateur 9-Ball Classic. If you don't know what that tournament is, you're living under a rock. But it is the biggest tournament for amateur players in the Northeast. Every year, it's only $25 to try to qualify. You got to play within your skill group, and you got to come top 3 in your group in one of those qualifiers. Again, starting next Saturday. And we have 7 weeks of qualifiers. Main event is a 2-day 64-player final. Again, $25 to try to qualify. And then also, if you make it into the main event, it's another $25 entry into the main event. $5,000 guaranteed first place prize. All the qualifier funds are put for second place through 16th in that event. And let me tell you something, those numbers get way up there. It's really one of those events where I feel the entire pool community comes out for that, and just, you know, players you don't see ever come out and shoot. And that's really just something I'm looking forward to. And again, next Saturday is qualifier number 1. Put it in your calendar, set an alarm, get your butts down here. If you're an amateur player, you need to be here for that. Brenda in the chat says, is Kerry in the tournament? No. Kerry had an obligation yesterday and wasn't able to attend. He did show up later in the night and just watched a couple of matches and hung out for a little bit, but no, he did not compete in this. There's a lot of players missing from this event this year, and you know, there's just a lot of things going on this weekend, and a lot of it was obligatory type things where you just couldn't say, I'll do that next week. You had to do it, and you know, whether it be team stuff and league things, and just a lot of different things going on this weekend. So we did miss out on a few of the players we were expecting, but totally okay. Rebecca Teese, how you doing? She says, is there info online for the amateur qualifiers? There is a Facebook page for that, and I can put that into the comments section for you. And you're not going to see the newest. You're not going to see the newest flyer there, but it's all the same information. So, ignore the dates. There you go. There's a link right there in the chat for it. Snookers Amateur 9-Ball Classic. And she says, just came out from under my rock. Yeah, so, we get players from all over for that. And there are going to be some weekends where I will host a cash tournament, player auction, the whole nine, on the Sunday following the qualifiers. So a lot of the players that want to come down for the qualifiers, sometimes it's difficult to do that and not have the idea that you could win some cash to cover some of your costs for travel and hotel expenses and entry fees and whatnot. So I am going to have some weekends where I do have an event on the Sunday following the qualifiers, and that's really just a service to the traveling players that want to make their way down here to Snookers and get into that big main event. Make sure you wear your Sunday best, or your Saturday best in this case, I guess. I will be taking your photo once you qualify. And do not wait. I say this all the time. Do not wait. You've got 7 bullets to get into that main event. You got 7 chances to snag a spot in that main event. Do not wait. Sometimes, you hear players, and I hear them saying, the good players go at the beginning, and I'll wait till all the good players are in. What are you talking about? Have you ever played pool before? It doesn't work that way. You've got 7 bullets to try to kill something. Why are you going to wait until you only got 3 left? Taking away your chances. Got to get in there right away. Score on table 2 is 4-2. I'm not sure who's leading. I haven't really been monitoring the breaking over there, but Frank Costantino just mentioned that the first qualifier is next Saturday, June 8th. First group starts at noon. That's for the under 500 group. Doors are at 11:30. So next Saturday, come on down. Doors are at 11:30. And again, the first group starts at noon. So, I mean, get here. Get here right away. Again, there's 7 qualifiers in total. And you have no idea which week is going to be your week. And, you know, there's another aspect to this where when you show up for a qualifier, say you're in the lowest group, which is the under 500 or the under 600 group, whatever group you're in, if you lose in one of those lower 2 groups in your qualifier, we haven't started the next group on that day, you can get into an additional qualifier and steal a spot from the players in that group. And you can get another chance to get in on the same day. And that happens all the time. We've had players steal that were, you know, in the lowest group, and the way the bracket worked, they ended up playing similar level players in the highest group, which is the 600 to 700 group. And that is just, you know, that's just how pool goes. And plus, I mean, who doesn't want to come down to Snookers and play pool all day? You know what I mean? AC's kicking. Feel like that's always a key. You want to have comfort in the room if it's a hot day outside, especially in the summer. We got the AC kicking. Nice cold beverages. That's correct, Ben. Ben, you answered my question, absolutely. That's correct. Yeah, Ben, everything's essentially the same thing, yeah. I feel like, you know, a lot of times there's an event where, you know, it happens annually and there's a certain way of doing it. I have definitely amended that event quite a few times. And, you know, I think that every so often, you know, you got to just kind of change with the times a bit and just, you know, go along with what the community is feeling like and what the vibe is overall in pool. And you kind of got to go with that. You know, you can't just set it and forget it, you know, for life and just say, all right, that's the tournament, and we just leave it like that forever. I think that you have to make a couple of changes every so often, small little amendments. We don't have to like reinvent the wheel, so to speak, but I definitely think that it's a good idea to, you know, take the feedback and try to mix it all up and spit out something that everyone's really happy about. And I think that we've done pretty well with that. I mean, judging by just the response to the event in the last few years since I've taken it over, I mean, we're seeing numbers that we haven't seen ever. And that's a really good sign. Yeah, I forget the exact numbers, but I want to say we were like $15,000 or $16,000 prize pool or something like that for 64 players. That's pretty strong. 5,000 for first. I mean, we were seeing, you know, 100+ players at these qualifier tournaments. I mean, that's what we're looking for. We want the entire pool community out here and playing some pool. You know, communicate with each other. Everybody have some fun. Ben, I think you are correct. I don't want to misquote it, but the previous year is going to have all of those things on that event poster. Again, I put the link to that page in the chat there. It's just Snookers Amateur 9-Ball Classic. Just look that up and you'll see it. Suad, you're making me laugh, buddy. You're a champ, man. I know you're only half kidding anyway, but love to be able to include you in there. Yeah, Mike in the chat asking about signups for that event. You don't have to pre-register. You just show up and shoot. There's no limits. I mean, they're essentially 64 brackets, for each of the groups. I mean, like I said, we get over 100 players. Their qualifiers are played within your skill group, and they're single elimination. First group is races to 5. Second group is races to 7. Top group is races to 10. And if you do get into one of those higher groups, like say you showed up late or you got eliminated before and you want to get into another group, if you play someone from your own group, you play that same race. So like if 2 players that are in the race to 5 group play in that race to 10 group, the final qualifier, and if you guys draw each other in a qualifier, it's just race to 5, regular race. But if one of the players is from the higher group, you got to play race to 10. So you play even inside the qualifiers. When you get to the main event, it's just a random draw, and you race to your number. And when you are assigned a number, that's what it is. If you're an 8 or a 9 or a 5 or a 6, whatever it is, that is the number you always race to, regardless of who you play against in the main event, and you get the cash. And again, that starts next Saturday, June 8th. And I did confirm the score on the neighboring table there. It's 5-3 in favor of Lucas Fracasso. Werner Frankie's got the break here. It's 5-3 over there, racing to 9. That's the other winner's side match, if you didn't join us earlier when we mentioned that. Jake, I have to check my notes on that. I know I had some notes regarding the buffers for the groups, but essentially whatever I did last year is what I'm going to do this year, and I don't want to say the wrong thing here. But I'm pretty sure that I had a 5-point buffer there in that range. But my intention is never to give somebody like an unfair advantage or, oh yeah, I'll just look the other way while somebody gets an advantage or something like that. I mean, I just want everybody to feel comfortable, come out and have some fun, and play some damn pool. You know what I mean? And, in true ship the cash fashion, it's, for the players, by the players. That's been the thing since day one, many years ago, and it's still the case now. It's just, get all of the players and say, hey, what are we trying to do here, folks? Figure out what everybody's thinking, mix it all up, and spit out the answer. Hey, this is a pretty good idea of what everybody's looking for in tournaments and games and whatnot, and that's that. And we see these boys are kind of grinding down a bit here, slowing up a bit. Josh Christian, what's up, my man? Yeah, I believe it was 5 last year, but again, if I don't have the stuff directly in front of me, I don't want to misquote myself or give you guys wrong information, but I'm pretty sure that it was 5, like you guys are suggesting. My brain's fried sometimes from all of the different formats and pool events I'm involved in, so I just don't want to give you guys the bad stuff. Hey, Will Ailey, my man, how we doing, bro? Nice to see you yesterday. Keep on fighting, man. You're doing great. We talked yesterday about the players that are just, fearless, just go out there and shoot and not really think about anything other than I'm just going to go out and compete and that's it. And the difference between that kind of player versus the player that's like, well, I don't think I'm going to win that tournament, so I'm not going to go. And it's like, okay, so now what? I think Bob's suggesting that he may not have hit a rail I mean, it doesn't look like it got there, but we can't go back and check that. I mean, Bob suggested it. I think Jason said, okay, if you believe that, then go right ahead. So I think he's given him the benefit of the doubt there. Oh, Frank, I'm not even a pool player, bro. I mean, I'm a pool player, but I'm not active. Thank you very much, Ben. I see you, brother. Kevin Kiley, I don't have the exact list right in front of me, but I can do my best to try to check that out right now, actually. I mean, the Final Four winner side, we're down to Final 8 players, so there's only 8 guys left. Final Four winner side is these two gentlemen, Bob Madenjian, Jason Robichaud. And we have Frankie Hernandez and Lucas Fracasso-Werner on the other table right next door. And that's the Final Four undefeated players. We can look down the row here, and I do see Pete Genovese. I know Jason Cornelio is still kicking. I'm sure you're happy to hear that. I'm actually going to just peer out the door for a second and see if I can recognize some of these players. Ron Cosenzio and Vincent Boravage. Those are your players. So Vincent Boravage and Jason Cornelio are table 4. And we've got Pete Genovese and Ron Cosenzio on table number 3. So those are your B-side players. And then the 4 winner side that I stay. Yeah, Kevin, we've been talking about him. We've been talking about him a little bit this morning regarding just the level that he's gotten up to in just a short time. I mean, just the last year alone, it's just amazing how much work he's put in and what he's doing. Yeah, Matt Bonarigo, you said it. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Never, ever. Remember that. I only give bad advice. But in reality, I'm always happy to see players doing well and see them get out there and do their best and, just making a name for themselves, but also just seeing people knocking down goals and just smashing it, you know what I mean? That's just positive stuff. My brain these days is just kind of, if it's positive, let's go. You're talking anything negative, like, I don't even really get upset. It's just like, okay, like, go away. Go do that somewhere else. I'm not interested. I don't refer to names, but I had a player recently yesterday. They're like, hey, what's up with the tables? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, they play terrible. I'm like, oh, I've never heard that before. And obviously he was coming off of a loss, and he went on to tell me how like every table plays like trash and this is like brutal equipment. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, it's pristine. Like, we clean the tables and the balls daily. Replace all of the cloth all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And, it's like we're not waiting like 2 years to replace it. We do it once a year, the whole room. I mean, I don't know what else you can ask for. And, then he ends up just, going on and on about how the tables are trash and that's why he doesn't come out. And like, okay, sorry to hear that, but, like I'm not interested in hearing any of that stuff, man. Like, go out there and just compete, keep your head up and eyes on the prize, and stop complaining and just go out there and fight. Just get it. I want to thank Mr. Ben Savoy and Suad Kantarovic. Thank you so much, boys. Appreciate your donations. Really appreciate that. Don't forget, if you guys are donating, We're going to do a drawing for some cool stuff tomorrow night. And again, we got some cool prizes there. Got a couple of autographed Pro Cup measle balls, the Aramith Pro Cup balls. And whoever wins that, you can have your choice. I'll let you know what I have. I want to say I have Tyler Steyer, Moritz Neuhausen. I think I have Victor Zielinski and maybe something else. But I'm pretty sure I've got a good collection there. And you might even be able to get the cue ball that's autographed by the winner of this event this weekend. I'm going to throw that in the mix also. But then there's some gift cards and custom artwork from my man Kevin Baccio. So if you are supporting the stream this weekend, it is very much appreciated, but you're also going to get a shot at winning some cool stuff. Put it in your man cave or bring it to the office. Yeah, I'm not using names, boys, but it's just hilarious that, like, someone can straight face you and tell you, like, how terrible something is, and you're like, dude, you just lost. Just, like, be like, hey, I'm having a bad day. I played bad. Like, go ahead. Oh, man. But, yeah, I'm not interested in the negative stuff, man. I just want to smile, be happy. And I'm trying to, deliver that same type of vibe to the players that come out to the events that I'm involved in. I want you guys to have a good time too. Don't worry so much about the results. Worry about the journey through it and just having the experience. I mean, I always like to say, like if you go to, like a sports game, like a baseball game, basketball game, if your team loses, are you like looking for a refund? Do you go tell them that like they're absolute trash? I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Just go out and play some pool. Have some fun. Build community, make some friends, retain some friends, argue a little bit, but then get over it and go hang out, Yeah, John Poenessa, you said it. If you're not smiling, playing pool, you need to find a new hobby. Yeah, I say that in a slightly different way. I said if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. So, totally agree with that, John. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah, Will Ayler, you did hear that conversation with the gentleman telling us how terrible everything played. I'm like, the balls are shiny as all hell, perfect condition, like everything's playing nice. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Oh, yeah, that's why I don't come here. It plays like trash. I'm like, oh, okay, you got it. Thanks. And if that guy's listening, sorry, man, you put yourself in that spot. Oh, well. Madenjian looking to close this one out. He airballed the 9-ball in the last game, and he had a little bit of body movement when he tried to thin cut the 9-ball. He had to back cut the 9, and I mean, I don't disagree with his decision. He felt good about the shot, so I say, okay, yeah, you're supposed to shoot that, Bob, but he definitely had a little bit of body movement when he followed through on that, and it definitely threw his cue stick off the line and completely missed the 9-ball, giving Jason ball in hand. Yeah, John, you said it too. Yeah, we all play on the same table. Gotta get some heart. I mean, come on, man. Like, I literally don't care what table it is. Like, it could even have like just something wrong with it. Like, actually something wrong with it. If we both gotta play on it, I mean, let's go figure it out, man. Can't you figure it out better than I can? I don't care. All right, Bob Madenjian 4-2 now, ahead of Jason Robichaud in this winner's side Final Four match. I'm going to pop up that graphic one more time for you guys. You are donating. That's what you can win right there. We're going to give away 4 prizes. I'll probably do a couple of additionals for like Ship the Cash swag or something like that, but that's what we got in the kitty. You don't have to be here. I'm just going to do it live. If you're not local, I'll send it out. Hey, Alex, how you doing, my man? A lot of players looking for you yesterday. They're like, where's Alex? Where is he? Bet you definitely gave some relief to a couple of boys, too, because I'd put my money that you would be here in this final 8 right now. And right now, I got my man Jake handing me a coffee, saving the day. I'll come in? No? All right. My man, thank you. Jake Raquel coming through with the large iced coffee. Thank you very much, sir. You have no idea how, amazing that is when you're in here. Now I'm locked in the box over here. Can't get out. And man comes through with the large iced. Yeah, Alex, the Final Four on the B side, we see the Final Four here on the winner's side. We got Frankie and Lucas and Jason and Bob here. But the B side matches is Ron Cosanzio playing Pete Genovese and, like you said, rising star Jason Cornelio. And the man you referred to as Canadian guy is Vincent Borovage. And he is a tough cookie to crack. He's a good player. I mean, these guys are all strong, but he's a tough cookie. Those are your final 8 players. Don Hunter, you said it. That Jake Raquel is an okay dude. Just okay, right? It looks like Lucas took that match over Frankie Hernandez, so the winner of this match is going to play Lucas Fracasso Werner on this table. Now, I'm not sure Mike's plan on when these matches will play. I know sometimes he does things that I'm not expecting. He might have us play another B-side match on the feature table, and then we play the hot seat match. Sometimes he does that, as far as just the way that the time is lining up. Jason's still struggling just a bit in this first matchup of his today. Oh, I'm sorry, that match is not over. I thought those guys were packing up. Apologies, I called it too soon. I saw a 9-ball go in. And to be honest, I hate to say it, but that's Frankie's fault. When you're racking the balls, if that bottom balls are not frozen there, that 9-ball is going to leak right out and head right towards the corner, and it's exactly what happened there. Got to make sure you freeze the top and the bottom. Remember, this is a rack for your opponent format. Oddly enough, I actually think Bob left a window perfect to be able to get to that 5-ball. Like the only window available there. Looks like he could just shoot it right in. And Jason not able to complete the task at hand. Will Ailey, no, this is not on YouTube right now. Apologies. I know you want to put it on the screen. That was just a mental lapse on my part. I haven't really... I mean, we don't have a Snookers Live YouTube. I think there might be like an old Snookers page on YouTube, but... I know you guys like to see the YouTube stuff. Makes it easy to go up on the big screen. If you have like a Chromecast or a Fire Stick, you can do the same thing with the Facebook stream. You just have to make sure that you know how to do that. There's just a little icon. You click on it, and it just sends it directly to the TV. You can even close your phone afterwards. You don't have to keep the phone on or anything. That's right, Don Hunter. That's right. Corey Spence says, let's go, Jason. You got this. Should be easy peasy right here to get up to 5-2. But sometimes nothing is easy. Nice line to get that ball for the side pocket. No issue here. There you go. 5-2 now for Bob Madenjian. Alex Bausch in the chat says, me and Jason Cornelio have traveled to a few tournaments and met up for practice. And he's a really strong player and a hard worker. Glad to see other people catch on to what me and some other Connecticut players has been seeing. Yeah, definitely. Totally got that. I mean, he's kind of been like my, I think I called him like the superstar of the event, or, kind of just the outlier there. Like a year ago, this was not possible. And I'm just thrilled to see, his hard work paying off. And it just goes to show you, folks, complaining doesn't get you better. You don't get anything from that. Corey Spence says, where is Bob from? Bob is from Connecticut. He's a Connecticut native. Dr. Bob. He's been like, always, as long as I can remember, Bob has always just been like, oh, that guy's really good. Always. Any amateur tournament, any pro tournament, you name it, if it's in this area and he's allowed to play in it and he's in it, that guy could win it. Totally. Like Bob Madenjian can win this tournament. I don't care who's coming from the B side, who's going to play the next match. If he wins this, whatever, this guy can win. He knows how to win. And he doesn't care about the other player, which is really what you need to do. Just kind of focus on yourself. Don't worry about other people and their business. Worry about your own. That's just what Bob does. He just goes about his stuff and plays the game really well. Super strong. A tricky shot here. Might be trying to just shoot it up table and come back down with the cue ball. Just like that. Oh, he was swinging at the 9 ball there. He was trying to get the 9 ball there, but he got second prize, which is old safety. I see 2 one-rail kicks available here. He can either go to the left long rail or the top short rail. And I'm going to go ahead and say that the left long rail seems like the better option just because the result seems like it could be better. And he doesn't have to shoot over the 9 ball either. So really just looking to play the speed to separate. And he nails it. And he's going to leave himself an opportunity for a carom 3-9. Play the cue ball off of the 3 and pocket the 9 ball in that bottom right corner. And that would put him up to 3. Let's see if he can execute, and he does. Nice shot there. Jason Robichaud comes with it. About that, kicks the ball in, and then makes the 9 with a carom off the 3. Okay, so update on our neighboring match, and I'm not going to let you guys go without. I'm going to let you sweat the action here. We're going to put you on the secondary view here, where we can see both tables 1 and 2. Lucas Fracasso Werner at 8. Frankie Hernandez at 5. That's 8-5 race to 9. Lucas is at the table right now, so I'm going to let you guys watch that a bit right now. Derek Peterson, there is no online bracket, but I am going to post an update after this match concludes. I will go take another photo of the paper chart, and I will post it on my page. Make sure you guys go shoot me a friend request or a follow. It's Mike DeMarco on Facebook. And that pinned comment in the chat regarding the donations and the prizes, that is my profile right there. Just click on that and just go make sure you get the notifications there. I'm going to post it as soon as this match is over. I'm going to go take the photos and post them all up there so you guys can see everything. If you go there right now, you'll be able to see yesterday's post where I put up the original draws, and I put a couple of updates throughout the night in the comments section. So, I mean, you'll have a decent idea from there. If you know how to follow pool brackets and you know who's still left, you can definitely see what I'm talking about. All right, Lucas Fracasso Werner on our neighboring table. He's 3 balls away from a victory and a shot in the hot seat. Kid's just got unbelievable confidence right now. We were mentioning his latest and greatest victory down in Louisiana at the Buffalo's Pro 9 ball. And he beat Tony Chohan 9-3 in the final of that one. And that was a nice, strong win from him. Boosted the heck out of his confidence. And here you see it right there, the handshake. Lucas Fracasso Werner 9-5 over Frankie Hernandez. Also want to mention Frankie Hernandez was one of this year's inductees for the New England Pool and Billiards Hall of Fame, along with Pete Brown from Vernon, Connecticut, owner at Rack's Billiards and Bar. One of my favorite places to go. Rice bowls. You got it, man. But yeah, it was Frankie Hernandez, Pete Brown, Vernon, Connecticut. We had Pistol Pete Freitas from New Bedford, Mass., and also from Massachusetts, the previous Hall of Fame president, Mr. Tom McGonigal. And Tom McGonigal has already been inducted into the Hall of Fame as a player. This year, he was inducted a second time with the Cy and Dolly Award, which is for his dedication to pool and billiards on the promotion side of it. And, I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, he's done so much. But those were your 4 inductees this year. When you come down to Snookers, you walk into the main tournament room. If you just look to the right when you walk in, right in front of table 8, right into that main tournament room, you look to your right and you'll see all 4 of the newest additions. That's the section where we put that year's inductees plaques right there. So you can go there, read a little bit about the players and see some photos and whatnot. Right when you walk in to the right. Can't miss it. But yeah, it was a really cool ceremony on Friday night. I don't know if this information is, common knowledge at this point, but I am the new Pool and Billiards Hall of Fame here. And, I made some changes with the event, try to add some cool stuff. And this year we got to add some music into the ceremony. And we had 2 of our pool community members perform some music on Friday. And, boy, I mean, I'll tell you what, they killed it. They really did. It was Lenny Lashley and Jake Frezza, both professional musicians, and they absolutely just killed it. It was so awesome. Got tons and tons of compliments about the music, and I think it went off pretty well. And I'm looking forward to asking those gentlemen if they will come back and return to do that again, because I think that was just, once I've had it like that, I can't not have it like that. That was just awesome. Bob Madenjian, a little straight here on the 8 ball. This is a big one right here. 6'3" versus 5'4". Massive difference. Got to focus here. Off the table. He ends up jumping the ball. Off the table. The 8 ball's going to go down. He's going to get ball in hand. Straight on the 9 ball. I think that was a poor decision. If Bob wasn't 100% comfortable with that type of shot there, I think he should have made a change. But what actually happened is Bob actually, when he stroked through that, his cue stick kind of came up with his aim, and he ended up jumping versus just shooting down and rotating the cue ball. He actually jumped it into the table. John Hussey, how you been, bro? Yeah, Will Ailey, I agree on that. Will Ailey in the chat says he feels like that was a moment to just accept what the table gives you, and I totally agree with that. Bob could have just put the ball in, accept the long-distance 9 ball. He's totally capable of making that, and I think he just asked for a bit too much out of that shot, and, it kind of bit him. He didn't have to jump the ball off the table. I mean, he did shoot it at the pocket, but, that was a tricky one right there. I don't think he'll shoot it like that again, but you can't predict the future sometimes. If that's really what you're comfortable with, I say it over and over, you have to shoot what you're comfortable with. You can't think about what someone else would want to do or what you think someone thinks you should do in that situation. What you're comfortable with, what you see, what's calling your name out, yeah, let's go. John Hussey in the chat says, good Mike, ready to play some Rhode Island pool soon. All right, come visit. Yeah, that's right, Will Ailey. Decisions will decide the match. The decisions that they make, it's not really the skills or the knowledge necessarily. Look at that shot right there. See, those are shots right there that just show you how strong Bob's knowledge of the game is. Dr. Bob Madenjian with a nice, smooth carom shot there. I tell you folks at home, practice your scratch pool. If you're not playing scratch pool, learn it. You want to see how to play it? The best place I can tell you, just go look up on YouTube. Go look up the tar match with, it was the tar match with Efren Reyes and Shane Van Boning. And at the end, Efren shows Shane Van Boning how to play that game. And let me tell you something. It's a missing link in pool. Call me crazy. Go play that game. I promise you, you will see drastic improvement in your game in regular pool if you practice playing scratch pool. Cue ball will be absolutely perfect, and your stroke will definitely get a lot cleaner. 9 ball on the break for Bob Madenjian. He gets 2 quick victories there. Was that 3 strokes of the cue to get a win? I mean, who knows? Maybe it was a blessing that he jumped that off of the table, July 4th week, I'll be up hopefully. All right, John, I'll see you when you come up. Brian Hill, nice to hear from you. Thank you very much for the kind words. Dan Usello, nice to see you, bro. He says, the voice of pool, hope all is well, brother. Yes, sir. Living life and loving whatever positives come into it. Pete Brown, just mentioned you. Congrats on your induction this year, brother. Well deserved. He says, great event on Friday for MC to Jake and Lenny. Great singers, such a great honor to be chosen. Keep up the great work, brother. Thank you very much, Pete. And same to you, my man. You're crushing it over there at Rax. Keep up what you're doing, man. The players love it. I love it. Let's just keep rolling. Keep things going strong, building together, and making it happen. Bob getting 2 really quick games there, man. Jason's got to feel like, what the heck, man? Like, what do I have to throw at this guy for him to die? Like, what the heck? Nope, there are no magic rack templates in this format here. It's opponent racks, and you just break the balls and play pool. And that's it. No complaining about the rack or any of that stuff. I mean, that's just how it is. And that's all dictated by Mike Zuglin. That's the way he wants to do it. That's the way he will do it. He's not going to change it, and that's it. And I say it with that, that enthusiasm because that's the way Mike would explain it. Somebody says, "Oh, why can't we do this?" Or, "Hey, this guy's doing this with the rack." He'd say, "Break the damn balls." That's it. It's like my favorite one-liner from him. Just does it the way he does it, and that's it. He doesn't care what you think. Just that's how it is. You got to respect him for that. Ooh, tough miss there, but you see Bob playing it smart, putting the cue ball back behind that 7. He knew it was going to be a little tricky, so kind of hedged his bet there. I'm not sure if Jason is a jumper. Remember, you have to use a full-length cue in the Joss events like this, so you can't get a shorty out and just kind of dart it right over that. You know, having a full-length cue to jump is a lot more difficult than playing with the short jump cue. So, that being the case, Jason may be entertaining a kick. I don't mind just kicking this one rail just the way he's indicating here. I mean, it's pretty natural. I'm trying to see, though. He is going to have to manipulate this a little bit. The 6 ball is in the way of the natural line. So he's going to actually have to kick this long and just shorten it up just a bit. And that's exactly how he's aiming this. Let's see how he makes this work. I mean, you couldn't have hit it much better than that, and I can't believe he missed that completely. That was a great swing, Jason Robichaud. Really unfortunate miss there. I thought he hit that well. Nonetheless, Bob Madenjian at the table, looking to get himself on the hill. 7-4 right now. Remember, racing to 9. It's a winner's side match. The winner of this will play Lucas Fracasso-Werner in the hot seat match, which is also raced to 9. I see Jason Cornelio and Vincent Boravage are still battling on table 4. That's the only other winner, the only other tournament match that's being played currently, other than this front table here. Bob make it past that 7 ball? Ooh, he did. Just barely, though. It's all right. He's going to swing the cue ball 3 rails around the top section of the table. He's going to be aiming for the 7 in the side pocket. I think that's the way he's going to go at this. He wants to hit the rail a little higher up here, just like that. 1, 2, 3. Got to swing down for the side pocket. Nice speed there. Doesn't want to get straight. All right, he's got a bit of an angle here. He's going to be playing 1 rail shape to get back across for the 8 ball. Not really a ton of spin here. Maybe a touch of left hand. He's just going to come straight back across the table. Yeah, he did not really get set to shoot that yet. I mean, he seems like he's a little disappointed with that, but I mean, he's fine here. He just cut the ball and back and forth with the cue ball. There's not really a ton of position you have to do. Let's see if he can do this. He made a lot thinner of a cut on the 8 ball in rack number 2, I believe. And I don't think he's going to have any issues here. Just go through it. Don't roll it. Get it right in there. Nice shot. What are you complaining for, Bob? You had that the whole time. Making us think you're in trouble. What are you doing, man? All right, there we go. Bob Madenjian now on the hill, meaning he only needs 1 more game. Not sure what we're going to get next. But as soon as this match is over, again, I'll go take some bracket pictures. I'll post them on my page. And I'm going to ask Mr. Zuglin, what are we going to get for our next match, man? What are we getting? Who's it going to be? All right, now dry break. Is that what I'm seeing here? Yeah, dry break. I mean, Jason can totally, get the job done here. I mean, obviously, he's a capable player, able to, able to get the job done. I mean, he's in the Final 4 winner's side here. You don't get there by accident. Not sure how Bob feels about this one here. Might see him play that funky inside English shot here. Just like that. Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, Jason's really in a tough spot now just because of, the point in the match that we're at here. That's tough. I mean, Bob only needing one game here. I mean, you could kind of tell after the first few games that it was kind of just rolling in Bob's favor. He had a couple of fortunate turns, little rolls, but, I mean, it doesn't mean that Jason can't win this match. It just means that he's got a tall order in front of him, a mountain to climb. He's going to have to make something truly special happen. I don't know how Bob feels about his kicks, but if you can kick and stick this, you can actually kick the 4-ball 2 rails back under the 7. The table's fast enough where that would make the distance. You got to firm it, but he just went soft with it. He just went with the 1 railer, but he's going to sell it out. Easy shot to the side pocket here. I'm not even going to call it easy. I'm going to say a relatively simple shot to understand, because we know nothing is simple in this game. Nothing's easy, I should say. Going to go forward, a little bit of left spin. Oh, and he comes with a scratch there. I mean, the only thing Jason's got going for him right now is that 8-9 is a little funky. So Bob's going to have to try to figure something out with that right now. I mean, he might actually do something about it right now. Depends on how he feels about it. I mean, 4, 5, 6, 7, super simple, easy stuff. Bob's got no issues with this stuff. But that 8-9 is definitely tricky. Maybe he's just going to focus on getting on the 7 with a proper angle to bump into that 8-9. I mean, he might even be able to draw into it right now if he's straight enough. He might be able to draw into it, kind of like bump into the 9-ball. You got to be careful doing that, though. You move furniture around and, can definitely get into a bad spot. Let's see how he attacks this one. Goes up and over. Nice speed there. He's got a decent angle on the 6. This is really the deciding shot here, though. Figure out exactly what he wants to do with this. And I just float it over. Stun draw, just like that. All right. Not sure exactly what his plan is. I mean, maybe he's thinking he's going to get way down on that bottom rail. Is that really what he's thinking? No, there's no chance. No chance that ball is going with a clean shot. He's going to draw into it or something. Could possibly be contemplating a carom shot, but he just put himself in a tough spot now. I mean, the whole time that was the main thought. We knew that the other 4 balls were simple, but this was always going to be an issue, and in hindsight, perhaps he should have played that first opening ball in hand shot, just a little angle and bump into the 9, shoot the 5 to the side, and, just deal with it that way. And he's going to give up the game right there. And call me crazy, but more often than not, you start doing those types of things, you get a little frustrated. It happens once, twice, quick 9-ball break, or maybe a short carom combo shot. Things can change. Even know what just happened there. What's going on in the world? Is this real life? An 8-ball. Close to that rail. I don't know if Bob's actually able to cut this. This could be one of those bobbled shots. Let's see if he can get it. He was playing completely safe. Right, so we're going to see a little bit of drama here. A little bit of drama. I think you have to just shoot this, though. You can't be crazy. Just shoot. Can he make it? No, he can't. Where's it going to end up, though? It's going to end up in Christmas territory for Bob Madenjian. Pop this one off the rail. 8 and 9 are going to go in the same pocket. And Bob being a one-pocket aficionado, he is going to like playing this shot. He knows this one. Easy peasy. And that's going to be that. All right, for the win, 9-4 over Jason Robichaud. We got Bob Madenjian making it to the hot seat with the Connecticut kid Lucas Fracasso Werner coming up shortly. And we're going to be right back